Hello and welcome back to the AI Marketers Playbook, where we cover actionable frameworks to help you leverage AI in your business. I'm Audrey Chia, your host for today, and today I have with me a really good friend and extremely talented entrepreneur, Isabella Bedoya. Now, Izzy is a serial AI entrepreneur who specializes in building the future of marketing and sales with AI. She has been featured on Forbes, HubSpot, iHeartRadio, and many more. And her automated sales process has generated 5.5 million in sales for one client in less than just 30 days of launch. Wow. Welcome to the show, Izzy.
Hello, hello. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. And for those people who don't know you, it would be great if you could share a little bit more about yourself and how you got started with this whole AI journey.
Absolutely. Where do I start? so, honestly, like, I've been in marketing and in sales probably for I don't know how many years, since 2018 or before. And whenever I think AI started coming out to the scene, I was already like, I had accidentally fallen into AI just by some of the marketing service I was providing. I was already using some AI tools. And then when OpenAI released ChatGPT, it was like, what's the hype all about? I went over to ChatGPT and quickly realized something is here. So I immediately like dropped everything I was doing. I realized, I was in early days TikTok, I was in early days Bitcoin, and I sat back and let those opportunities pass by. So when I saw this happening with AI, I was like, there's no way. So I dove head first and probably haven't stopped in the last like year just being fully immersed and learning and trying things, and it's been a it's been a really wild ride.
Yeah. Awesome. I myself started copywriting, right? And I launched my own copywriting consultancy. So when AI came along, I also had to figure out how to pivot, right? And like how to leverage it and figure out a new business model. And I know you yourself have tried different business models. Could you like walk us through your journey over the past year or so?
Absolutely, yeah. I've tried a lot of different models, partly because part of it was just like exploring what I actually like to do and where I kind of like saw myself, building a little longer term. So a lot of what I've done has been like little experiments, right? I wonder what happens if I launch a course. I wonder what happens if I launch a an actual like corporate training program or whatever. And I realized, that there's so much to do in the AI space. There really is so much impact that you can create. So for me, it was quickly realizing that there's like problems. When I launched the course, I realized that people joined my AI for marketing course and like I surveyed everybody and everybody's like, we want to learn how to make money with AI, and I'm like, why are you in this course then? This is a marketing course. So I immediately ask all those people like, do you want to learn this or do you want me to teach you the other side? And everyone's like, yeah, teach us the funnels, teach us the how to monetize our content, teach us all this. So everything that I've done has been really just driven from public opinion. Every time I like have an idea, I run it through LinkedIn or I run it through any of the channels, and I just ask, especially like any clients, I ask them specifically, what's next? What do you want to learn? What are you struggling with? And I just figure out how to solve that. So I've tried a lot of the agency models and I've tried also a lot of the coaching and the e-learning models, and there's definitely pros and cons with both. I think both are great, but there's just so much innovation to be done in the space that I decided to be a little bit more hands-on, and probably it's a little bit more on the agency/advisory model at the moment.
Wow, awesome. I think what really stood out to me about what you share, right, was figuring out the audience pain points before developing a solution around it. That is something that I also had to learn the hard way. So when I first started my journey, I thought that most people would be looking for a bespoke AI copywriting tool because it has saved me so much time, and I thought that okay, if it's saving me time, wouldn't it save other companies? But I also realized that product market fit is something that I had to find, whether it's the right time for company adoption, your competitors in the market, was there a cheaper option? Is it too high investment? And of course, are people even ready to accept AI? And who are those people, right? Because I think on LinkedIn, we live in an AI bubble, and eventually this bubble will expand. But there are still lots of businesses that are pretty reluctant to adopt AI. Has that been your experience?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, so it's interesting because I almost feel like there's a lot of businesses that they think that AI is Like there's a CEO recently, I scraped the whole entire post because it was so much good data. But he basically like his post was like, I've been using ChatGPT for 9 months or something, and it's useless. And then I read it's like 400 comments, and it's like a bunch of executives like, yeah, the writing is not good, or this or the other, and I'm just like, it's the prompt. Like, who's teaching you prompt engineering? I've had a lot of like seven-figure entrepreneurs come up to me and tell me that ChatGPT cannot write like a copywriter. And I'm like, I know it can because I've done it. Like I'm 100% positive. And they just like challenge it. They're like, "No, I've taken all the courses, blah blah blah." And it's like, "But who are you learning this from?" Like,
Yeah.
you know? So I think a lot of it, I don't want to like sound like I'm bashing anyone or anything, but I do think that a lot of the coaches that have like established coaching businesses, they're all just learning like the very intro level of prompt engineering, and they go and teach it to the masses, and they're like, "This is AI," and it's like you could be further from the truth.
Yeah, definitely. Like from my experience, it takes someone to already have expertise in a field to learn how to leverage AI for that field. So even in my case, right, when I try to create prompts, I'm basing it on my own experience of what makes good copy, and then you get like a really good output. Whereas if you're just asking ChatGPT or any AI tool like, hey, write me a landing page, it doesn't have the framework to actually create the landing page you're looking for. And given that there are so many different types of landing pages out there, how does it know what to pull like inspiration from, right? So you're gonna get something super like generic. But I would also would love to know like some people for to these people, what would you tell them? Like, do you have actual case studies of how businesses have transformed with the use of AI?
Yeah, a lot of the times I just like share my screen and they just end up like, "How did you do that?" And I'm like, "I'm telling you, I'm telling you it's possible." But no, people are reluctant, and like right now, for example, we're testing a lot with like voice AI, and the number one thing that I get is I don't want to do robocalling, or people say my people don't want to talk to AI, but how do you know that you're talking to AI unless you disclose it? And number two, like it's not robocalling because robocalling is automated, pre-recorded messages that have no way of interacting with them. So I think a lot of times people just really don't know what's going on, and they quickly, because it's new, they quickly classify it, think it's something else, like tons of misconceptions, and it's really wild to me. But I think this is what's cool also. The ones that are open-minded and willing to learn, right? Like Coca-Cola is like crushing it with AI. All these other companies that are like I think KPMG and PwC, I think invested like $1 billion into upskilling their entire team, right? Like these companies that see it, those are the companies that are just like creating this wider gap. Like if you thought, Coca-Cola and KPMG were like already like giants, imagine the gap that they're creating with their competitors by putting AI. It's crazy.
Definitely, it's crazy, right? And I think it's also interesting to see that there are a lot of businesses who are reluctant because A, they don't know the ROI. That's probably the biggest reason. And B, they're waiting for someone else to do it first.
Yep.
And C, they're perhaps not willing to invest that kind of resource in something that to them could be unproven. I think those are the main challenges that I've seen. But at the same time, for businesses who are willing to embrace it, right, then they save so much more time and then they free up their team for higher level, strategic work, things that deliver more value. I think that is at least the what I have noticed over the past year. And it has been like 1+ year since ChatGPT launched, right? And yet people are still resistant to it. But since you talked about that voice AI tool, could you show us a demo? Like how personal does it get?
Yeah, absolutely. So probably, I mean, there's two examples, right? Probably the easiest one right now is just the calling one. I can show you the funnel here in a second, but this one is. So I'm gonna call this number. Basically this is acting as my inbound sales representative. When I dial this number, there's gonna be a voice that picks up on the other end. That's our agent. We've trained it with advanced prompt engineering, and we've also trained it to take actions, whether it's a live transfer, or it's sending out a text or an email, or sending out a payment link, whatever the case is, or even just booking directly on the calendar. But just to show you a quick example, so I'm dialing a number.
This is Liz, an AI assistant with the AI Growth Partners. How can I help you?
Hey Liz, can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Absolutely, but first let me start with a joke about AI. Why did the AI go to school? Because
Why?
it wanted to be smarter than a smartphone. Now on to business. At the AI Growth Partners, we specialize in helping businesses grow by handling all the tasks that people don't want to do and doing them exceptionally well. We're talking about getting new leads, following up, qualifying, scheduling appointments, reactivating old leads, and answering questions over and over again. Imagine a world where your sales grow massively without having to bring on a bigger sales team. How would that impact your business? So, what's your first and last name?
Isabella Bedoya.
Great to meet you, Isabella. And may I have your email address, please?
Izzy at marketingpros.ai.
Thanks, Izzy. Now, have you ever been curious about how you could grow your business with AI? Imagine the possibilities.
So
Would
let
you
me
be
ask you a
interested in a
question.
quick chat about?
Let me ask you a question. Can you tell us a poem about LinkedIn?
Sure, here's a lighthearted poem about LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, connections are made where professionals gather, unafraid. Profiles polished, shining bright. Networking through the day and night. Endorsements and recommendations flow. Skills and expertise on full show. In the business world, it's quite a scene. A platform where careers can truly glean. Hope that brought a smile to your face. Now back to our conversation.
Wow,
Yeah, I'm gonna
that
hang
is
up. But
amazing.
so that's conversational AI. That's voice AI. Like I didn't plan for her to tell us a poem, and I just made her freestyle over there.
I think
That's why it's not really a poem.
you'll find people clocking in like 3 hours on call with your voice AI agents asking about different things. Like, what should I cook for dinner?
I know. Can you
And they
imagine?
get a response.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So
Wow.
that's like the power, right, of like this kind of technology. You can implement that inside of your marketing process, your sales process. You can do it for customer service, for all sorts of use cases.
That's amazing. And has this already been deployed with your clients, or are you testing this internally for now?
Yeah, I've been testing it since October. Since October, I built this like funnel. Essentially, I was just driving a lot of content, posting out a lot of content, sending people to like a case study funnel. And in the case study funnel, we were using like our old version of the voice AI agents. So when you opt into that funnel, you're collecting all this information, and now you're able to. It calls you like within 2 minutes or so. It calls you, qualifies you, sees if there's anything that that you might need help with that's actually like the stuff that we do. And if so, it will book you on the calendar. So that's kind of how it all started. And then slowly we started like rolling it out more and more. Also, like back in October, the technology, like even though I invested in the license and everything, the tech wasn't there yet. It was still like the calls would drop, it would go rogue. So really, really, like it's not until like about January that things started getting better. You could start using it. But like yeah, we've been getting like pretty crazy case studies. Like that one client, she has like a business lending company. It called like 37,000 of her contacts in 1 month. 4,000 picked up. 91 like completely automated calls were generated from it. About 394 were callbacks. So what that made is like she had a three. This is the part that people say AI is coming for your job, but AI is creating a lot of jobs because she had like 394 callbacks of the AI called, they missed the call, so they called the business back. She was getting so much volume and so much traffic back. She had to hire three more people just to support the sales. So so it's like, yeah, it's coming for your job, but really it's really making your job, like you said in the beginning, more meaningful, more strategic. It's removing all the mundane stuff and it's just giving you exactly like the high value actions.
That is amazing to hear. And I think what you also talked about is, you know, actually AI delivering more value for people so that they can expand their businesses and create new roles or functions. So I think to this point, like for people who are afraid of AI taking over your jobs, right? I think the other way to think about it is how can you learn to leverage it or build a new skill set, right? So that you are always one step ahead and you don't have to be afraid of being replaced. I loved what you talked about when you were talking about the funnel. Would love to see if you could show us a demo of how it actually works and how someone could actually build their own funnel and integrate AI into like their workflows.
Absolutely. So let me go ahead and share my screen.
Awesome. So for those of you who are listening to the podcast and cannot see Izzy's screen, right? No worries, we will walk you guys through what we are seeing on screen so you know exactly what's going on. Awesome, over to you, Izzy.
Awesome, thank you. So I'm just gonna start really quick by sharing. Actually, I'm gonna show you the full entire funnel, right? So from I think it was under images. So basically, the first step is like you have to post something valuable online, right? You have to actually drive traffic to what you're doing. So in this case, I don't remember if this was the exact post, but for those listening, I'm pretty much pulling up one of my posts on LinkedIn. In LinkedIn, I'm saying like you have to. I don't know if that was the right post. Anyways, on LinkedIn. I'm pretty much saying like I'm giving something away, right? Like I'm giving away this guide on how I was able to generate like X amount of dollars, whatever. And so this is called like a giveaway post where you post something, getting people to raise their hand in the comments and let you know like, hey, I want it. So that's essentially like the post is doing. I don't know if this is the exact one that I used for that particular funnel, but it's the same process. So, and here, well, I guess, yeah, see here it says like, come and send me the offers guide. Now, one thing that I discovered to make this process a lot easier, because what happens is you're going to get a lot of comments and a lot of people DMing you asking for the free resource. So what I discovered is if you go under messaging and you go at the top, there's 3 buttons, and you click update away message, you can put all your call to action stuff there. So you can turn this on when you're doing the giveaway post and immediately you solve speed to lead. If you don't know what speed to lead is the second when someone raises their hand wanting something from you, you have a 5 minute countdown. If you don't get back to that person in 5 minutes or less, your chances of that person becoming a client go down by 80%. So speed to lead is insanely important. So from there, I'm sending people to a funnel, a landing page, a funnel, and in this funnel, you can now download the thing that I'm giving away. So you click this button to download, you have to put in all your information, which I'm going to do really quick. And this is where you also like accept the terms. And by accepting the terms, you are now giving me as the business permission to call you, right? I agree to receive AI calls. You're giving me permission to call your phone. So what happens is you just saw my content. My content said I can give you this free thing. You then went and reached out for the free thing. You got an automated message telling you where to go. The automated message native inside of LinkedIn, so we're not using third-party rules and violating LinkedIn. That sends you to a funnel. You opt in. Once you opt in, you get this automation that triggers. So on my screen, I'm sharing the automation. Pretty much just tells you, whoops, pretty much tells you the first thing. Sends me a text letting me know someone just opted in, so I can keep an eye out on what's going on. Then it sends a text message to the person that just opted in, welcoming them in and sending them the thing that they just downloaded, making sure that they get it, and an email again sending them the thing, because you have to remember you have to do additional touch points, right? 20% of people read your email, 99% of people read your SMS, and I think it's like 10% of people actually answer the phone. So all you're doing is just, doing a bunch of different touch points. So let me refresh this really quick so you can see me in this sequence. So, oh, and I guess I can show you in the meantime. So I'm getting a text, I'm getting an email, as the lead, I'm also getting a text message on my phone, which I can show you.
And they can't miss you right now. So you're there. Oh wow.
So I'm
That's
getting the
so
text
quick.
message, right? I'm getting the text message, I'm getting everything, and then I'm going to share my screen again because I want to show you that I have a 2 minute wait step. In those
Yeah.
2 minutes, it's going to then trigger the AI agent to call me. Now this is the old version of the agent that we used to use, but I'm just gonna kick myself to the next step so you guys can see it like call me in real time. So it should be any minute. And then yeah, and then from here I just wait for the call to come in. It's gonna call me and qualify me and all of that. As you can see, here
Wow.
it is. Alright. Hello?
Hey, Isabella.
Hey, who's this?
Hey there. This is Asher, Izzy's AI agent from marketingpros.ai. How's it going? Did you get a chance to watch the video from the free growth report you downloaded?
Cool. So now it's asking me, did you get the download? From there, it's going to then qualify me, like what brings you here, what do you need help with? In this case, like whatever the Marketing Pros offer is, it's trained with that, so it's going to try to qualify me. And if I say like I don't have time to talk to you, it's going to say it's okay, can I just ask you one quick question? And it's going to try to keep the conversation going. And that's just because that's how it's trained. That's why it makes it, it's not to like be pushy or salesy or anything. I'm all about relationship based selling, but these are just like the way that it does it. It makes the sales process, I think, like 80% more efficient than a human or some crazy stat like that. I have the stats somewhere, but anyways, so that's what it does, right? It calls you. In this case, it's calling me. It's qualifying me. Speed to lead is there. This is the stuff that founders feel like weird. I don't want to call you. I'm scared. What if they don't
Yeah,
answer? You know, let the AI handle
rejection.
it. Yeah. But this is what makes like eight-figure businesses is having people on the phones calling you and saying like, "Hey, you just downloaded this. How can I help?" Right? They're opting in. They're raising their hand for wanting help with whatever it is that you're giving away. So that's kind of how the whole funnel works. And then you can see after a day, if they didn't schedule a call, then more automations kick in. And now you have the follow up sequence, which is you keep nurturing them, right? You keep saying, like, hey, did you get a chance to watch it? Just, what were you actually looking for or whatever. And you have the agent also call back. And, it's pretty much just a whole sequence to make sure that in sales, the saying I think is like 67% of people are actually will actually like you have to fortune is in the follow up is the saying, and
Yeah.
from all the people I reach out to, 67% of the people that end up buying from you are people that you have to follow up with. 3% are usually ready to buy, and then the other 30% they're just never going to buy. So majority of times people just don't have time to nurture that 67%, but that's where a lot of the revenue comes from. So that's essentially what this whole automation is doing. So that's how you go from just doing a giveaway post all the way to making sure that you're actually monetizing that post with the help of AI and automation.
That is absolutely amazing, Izzy. I anyone watching this probably will be like, what? There is a beautiful system or funnel that can help me do that? Because I know, even myself included, it takes so much time connecting with people, following up with them. And of course, like the traditional way is you just have like an email sequence, right? But like what
Yeah.
you said, sometimes multiple touch points are needed because people don't often, check their inbox. And even when they do, they might miss your emails. So definitely, like what you said, being able to connect with them and have AI to support them during this process will help you to streamline the entire, prospecting pitch. And that's something that a lot of businesses would definitely need. Question. So in this stage of your business right now, who is your current focus? Like, who is your current target audience and how are you helping them or supporting them?
It's a great question. So what's going on is that basically I like what's been happening. I haven't had I guess this is where I make the official announcement.
Oh, exciting! I get first dibs.
Yeah, you got the exclusive. I've been running all over the place. I haven't had a chance to make this announcement, but in the past like 2 months, so Marketing Pros was like the main business that I was growing, and it was all with like marketing and training and all these different things. And I also had started Automate Your Calls, which was our AI voice agency. Both companies have now merged with different partners. So on the marketing side, Marketing Pro side, I've merged with someone else, and we're building a SaaS. We're essentially building a marketing SaaS, and then that is to really just help businesses have. There's so many AI tools out there, and a lot of them, it's what you said in the beginning. In order to have a good actual output of the prompt, you actually have to have the experience in the skill set that you're needing. And I've realized after testing way too many tools, a lot of people are launching marketing tools, but they have no marketing skills. It's only technical experience, and they know, oh, let's just launch a, Instagram post generator. And you look at it, and it's like that's not gonna fly, right? Or or like a LinkedIn post generator, and it's like let's delve and embark on this journey, and it's like this is so robotic that doesn't make sense. So that's kind of like what inspired turning Marketing Pros into a SaaS. When I was working with clients, I had already built a lot of GPTs just to like sustain that. So turning that into a product that can actually help businesses have an AI marketing department essentially, that is really exciting. And then on the voice side, we're just essentially helping businesses that are looking for support with their sales process, right? Like maybe you're hiring sales reps, or maybe you don't have your systems in place yet, maybe you don't have your CRM, or maybe you do, but there's so many things that you can fix and you can automate by using AI. So that's essentially like who we're helping, and it can be anyone from like professional services through like consultancies, even some enterprise level clients that's what we're like starting to like attract through content. So it's crazy because like the AI space is nothing that I've ever experienced before. Usually people tell you like you got to niche down in one industry, but with AI there's like so much demand and so little like vendors. So that's I think like one thing that makes it a little bit of interesting scenario to have to like build in this space. But yeah, that's the exclusive. I
Wow.
haven't had a chance to share that publicly yet, so
I am so honored. Thank you for breaking your exclusive with me. Yeah, but I'm a huge fan of what you've been doing. So for those of you who don't know, I've been following Easy's journey for like a long time now, and I've seen how you've built different very successful business models and how you've pivoted one from one to the other and make sure that it aligns with your goals. And I think that as founders or entrepreneurs, we often sometimes get lost in the process of building, and then we forget like what do we actually want, right? And sometimes you end up with an agency model that you may not really resonate with. And sometimes you might be happy as a solopreneur, just leveraging AI to maximize your workflows. And that's completely fine as well. So it's just a reminder for people who are on that journey of entrepreneurship to always figure out like where's your why so that you can always make sure that you have the strength and energy to keep going. And I think that is the beautiful part of this journey. And for Easy, do you have any like advice for people who are trying to build an AI based business? Because I'm sure you've learned lots from
yeah.
from all the experience you've had.
Absolutely. I think the number one thing that I've learned is that before becoming, going all in I had a 12-person team, and it was very, very, very demanding, very stressful as well. So when I was like transitioning into I was just like, how can I do this as a solopreneur? So for the longest time, I was like, like very headstrong on being a solopreneur and etc. And then I realized like you can make a very comfortable living as a solopreneur. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's very, very like you can generate a very comfortable lifestyle. But I realized that like for me, it was more of a I don't know. I just feel like I'm meant to have a bigger impact, right? And the way that I view AI is something that we're seeing come out into the world for the first time in history, right? Like the Google CEO of Google says it's more profound than the discovery of fire or electricity. So we're like downplaying it so much, so how much impact it's gonna have. And I think that my role or like my why behind this whole thing is to like introduce AI into the world in a way that it actually creates positive change. And I can't do that as a solopreneur, right? If I continue doing that as a solopreneur, I'm gonna have a smaller impact. And it's not even like a thing of like an ego thing of like, if it's gonna be a big impact or small impact or whatever. But I know that if I want to play a role in shaping AI and the way that we introduce AI into society and this with this lens of positivity, that requires a team. That requires other people that also have the same vision. That and luckily, like those are the people that I've been able to find and attract and everything. So I think that, don't be afraid to have a team. Don't be afraid to go the solopreneur route. Whatever you figure out, whatever's your calling. And also be okay with like seasons. When I was going the solopreneur route, I needed that. I needed to rest. I needed to learn. I needed to go through all that whole experience. It's seasons, and I think part of that is like being willing to like try things and fail fast, fail forward, experiment, see if it works, if it doesn't work, and keep learning and growing, because the only way that you actually fail from this whole thing is if you quit. So whatever you do, just don't quit, just keep going, keep learning, keep growing, keep trying and testing, and it'll be inevitable for you to succeed if you have that mentality.
I love that. I think that I fully align myself with that mentality as well. And I call it like the growth mindset. And I think because my background is in copywriting, but I also love growth marketing. And even on LinkedIn, right? How do you develop a content strategy that helps you to grow? And there are people often look at the success that you have achieved. Like, look at Easy, she's really amazing. But they also don't see the failures and the low moments and everything else we have experimented with and not succeeded in, right? And they only see that bright, shiny object. But to be able to reach there is also to be able to accept and embrace the journey as it is, because sometimes the destination is in the journey. And I think that is the beautiful part about entrepreneurship. So with that, final few questions from me. What are your top 5 AI tools? I know Boss AI is one of them, but tell us more.
Well, you asked me this the week that OpenAI and Google release release
Exciting.
announcements, right?
That's why it's a great question for now.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy what's happening in the AI space. I really do. I love HeyGen. HeyGen has been amazing. If you don't know HeyGen, they basically do AI avatars of yourself or others, and you can just make a bunch of videos and stuff like that. Now you can do live streaming. I haven't tried that feature, but apparently you can get your avatars to live stream. Maybe for episode 2, it won't be us. It'll be our avatars. Who
You'll
knows,
be like,
right?
hey, that's not us at all, but you can't tell.
Exactly, and you won't be able to tell. That's the craziest thing. I really like HeyGen. If we're talking like marketing specifically, I think Captions AI does a really, really good job at like putting captions on your videos, and it's probably the one that I've been using for the longest, and it's also the least cost effective. So it's like $65 for the year, no credits. Opus Pro and all these other tools, they charge credits and all these things. Captions is just like unlimited. You just pay once for the whole year, get unlimited access, and it has like cool things like a teleprompter if you're doing like TikTok style videos. It has like a teleprompter thing. It has, if you're reading the teleprompter, it uses AI to like course correct your eyes so it looks like you're looking at the camera. All these really cool things. Captions AI. HeyGen captions. I like the note takers on your. Well, I don't know what's going on, I think, with the new releases, but before this, I used to use Sybil on all my Zoom calls and all my Google Meets or whatever. I will have to say, like, I have to be very basic with this, but I do love ChatGPT.
Everybody still loves it. It still has a special place in our hearts, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I the what we've been able to do with the GPTs alone, it's like it's been crazy. I don't think I know Copilot has the same features and stuff like that. I really love ChatGPT. And what else? Well, I guess I'll put your tool in there. Your LinkedIn tool. I like okay, so I have to check it out still, but I do want to make like I do want to like raise awareness to it because you're getting an AI tool from an actual copywriter. Like that is you don't see Jasper is like $1 billion business and I don't think that they are even built by copywriters. So, I like after knowing Audrey for so long, I know that that has to be like a very, very impactful tool.
Oh, I thank you for that shout out. Yeah, so if for those of you who are listening, basically we built a LinkedIn content tool that is trained on top performing frameworks that we have really curated and selected so that it works, right? And we even include your persona into the tool, which is why the output is really, really good. Like and what like Easy said, right? If you have that expertise in a specific field, when you combine it with AI, like Easy's way of combining her marketing expertise with AI, you get a super powerful outcome. I think that is really where the magic happens when you combine your human expertise with AI to give you something so much better. And with that, I really appreciate your time, Easy. Where can people find you?
LinkedIn, for sure. LinkedIn, Isabella Bedoya, LinkedIn, that's number one place. On YouTube, I'm starting to post a lot more on YouTube as well. It's just Izzy AI. But if you follow me on LinkedIn, you'll be able to see it in the comments I post about it. But yeah, I think LinkedIn is where I post the most. So anyways, thank you so much for having me. This has been amazing.
And thank you for being here, Easy, and breaking your exclusive with us. I still have so much joy in my heart. So, thank you guys for listening to the AI Marketers podcast. Stay tuned to the next episode for more actionable AI marketing insights. We'll see you next time.